G'day sports fans. I know you've been here. You've hit this perfect drive straight down the middle of the fairway. It's just flushed. It's the best one of the day. You stand there and you've hit this beautiful 9-iron and it's all over the flag and it's finished 15 foot away just past the hole and you're thinking, here we go. I've got this birdie putt. But what's the problem there? What happens now? All of a sudden you pile this pressure on because, you know what? You stand over this birdie putt and apparently it means a lot more than any of the others, doesn't it? I better not leave this short because 90% of short putts don't go in. Whatever that means. Or your mate's going, hey mate, never up, never in, you know, it's for birdie, make sure you get it there. Okay, so that's all running through your head, and then what happens? You whack, runs over the edge of the hole. Your mate goes, oh, great putt, oh, unlucky, but it's gone 6 foot past. And what happens next? You pull that one a little bit, it runs past the edge of the hole, now you're tapping in for your bogey. Not again. Another 3-putt has just killed your score. You've gone from this birdie you should have made to bogey, and you're frustrated and you're angry, and then you take it out on the next hole and you take it out on your playing partners and everyone else, and the day's ruined. How often does that happen? Yeah, a lot. I see this all the time with golfers I play with. I've been playing pro-ams with golfers, you know, as part of being a PGA pro for like 30 years. Everyone putting a different emphasis on the shots that are on the green for birdie as opposed to a par putt or a bogey putt. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, you might not be a golf pro, but let's talk about your net score on the hole. Maybe you've got a putt for a bogey and that would be a net birdie for you because you're playing off a 36 handicap, something like that. It's the same thing. You're putting this extra pressure on one particular putt over another one. And it's just madness. And we hear all these cliches all the time. And quite honestly, the never up, never in is just complete bullshit. It really is. It destroys more rounds of golf and scoring than just about anything else I see on the golf course. It's all these old cliches that we've just got to get rid of. They're just crap. They really are. And if you're trying to play scoring golf as opposed to ego golf, then getting over those cliches is crucial. So one of the things that is so obvious, it's not funny, that at the end of the day, when you're adding your scores up, every single shot you have, every single point you score in Stableford or something like that adds up to your total. And that's the point of golf. They work out the results at the end of the day on the total. Not, hey, did you get that birdie putt to the hole on the 5th? Because if you did, we'll give you a prize. No, I'm pretty sure that's not what happens. They go, what score do you have? Great, you finished 3rd. Maybe if you didn't 3-putt 3 times because you were ramming birdie putts way past, you might have won by a shot or something like that. So that's what's the reality of golf. So if you're more interested in scoring, then we've got to change things. So what I'm going to show you here is a couple of putts that I had in a recent round of golf. And I'm going to start with the first one. And the first one is me putting for an eagle on a par 5. I've managed to hit a great golf shot in there. I think I'm around 15 to 20 foot away from the hole. And what I want you to watch is to see what I do. So I'm basically going to sit there and try my best to hold this eagle putt, but I'm not going to give it any more than I would any other putt. That's something I had to learn the hard way, because don't get me wrong, I've been right there with you thinking, yeah, I've got to make sure that an eagle putt is never left short of the hole. There's another one of those bloody cliches we've got to get rid of. And in terms of the overall score at the end of the day, that's just not the way we need to look at it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm reading the putt, I'm giving it my best guess on what line I think I need to take. I'm making sure that I'm trying to guess how big a practice swing I need to make to hit it the ideal distance, so that if I miss, I have a tap in. Okay, and then I'm lining up, I'm hitting the putt, and you'll see, do I make it or not? You'll find out. So check out the video and let's see what goes on. Just check out my whole routine, see what happens.
Still just doing the same thing, treating it like a normal putt, reading from behind the hole, walk along here. Going to have a look from the side to give me a better idea of the distance. Going to come on in and mark this ball as per normal. Lining the line up roughly where I think I need to go. Another quick read from this side. Take my 2 practice swings looking at the hole. Trying to guess how hard I need to hit it. Have another look. Back to the ball and go. See how I go. And it didn't break like I thought, but it was a good putt. I get to tap it in for an easy 4.
So, did it go in? No. But I didn't lose my, I knew that I missed the eagle putt, I misread it slightly, but I've got to tap in for birdie on my next one. So from that kind of range, I know I'm just not going to make too many of those. That's just the facts of the game of golf. So then I move on to the next one. That was on the 4th hole. I move on to the 5th hole, and this time I've pulled my tee shot left and I've chipped up, and now I've got a similar length putt for par. Now most of us in the past, myself, you right now, you might be sitting there thinking, oh yeah, okay, putt for par. So most of us, what do we do when we putt for par? Well, we probably don't care as much, or if we're putting for a bogey or a double bogey, we don't really care as much. What I want you to watch in this video is me doing the same thing as best I possibly can on this putt, because it's worth the same at the end of the day. I'm not trying to pile on any more pressure to save a score. I'm also not piling on any more pressure because it's a birdie putt. Well, it's not. It's a putt for par. And I want you to see what happens. So check this one out.
Boring thing again. This is a putt for a par, about 5 meters away. But I've still got to do the same thing as I do on every other putt, which is read behind the hole and then go through my same routine down. Right to left. Well, didn't break. A good try, good putt. Thought it was going to break a little bit more, but it did.
Okay, so you've checked that out. Once again, misread it slightly, but where was my second putt? It was, this far from the hole to tap in, and I've walked off with no worse than 2 putts. Because once again, from that range, you're not going to make too many from 15 to 20 foot away. Okay, so what we've got to do is we've got to start understanding that, like Mark Brody knows, and Scott Fawcett from Decade Golf, these are 2 guys who've done a lot of study on the idea of what it takes to shoot lower scores. This book here is the one that Mark Brody, every shot counts, right? And Scott Fawcett's based all his work on a lot of that stuff. But the whole idea at every single level of the game, it's not about making more putts that gets you to the top or echelon of the game, or to get better, or to break 100 or break 80 or break 90, whatever it is you're doing. It's not about making more putts, it's about having less 3 putts. So how do you do that? How do you eliminate 3 putts? Well, the number one focus that I've seen and that I help golfers with in all my coaching programs that are based out on the golf course is all they have to do is make sure that the last and most important thing you're thinking about when you're putting is getting the distance right. Now, distance in putting is pretty much all about club head speed, and the easiest way to do that is to judge the size of your pendulum swing back and through, and you control the distance by making a bigger swing or a smaller swing depending upon how far it is. So there's plenty of ways to do this, but I'm going to share with you a video that I've got, you can check it out here, that basically helps you to judge that distance, the speed on your first putt more often. It will help you to eliminate 3 putts. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's just opened your eyes up to the most important thing you need to be doing in putting to drop your scores to break 90. And if you'd like to join my free 7-day break 90 challenge, where you'll get other easy concepts like this to help you to finally break that scoring barrier of 90, then all you got to do is have a look down in the comments and you'll see that there's a link there in the top one to say come and join my challenge. So I hope to see you in there, and let me know, are you an ego golfer or are you a scoring golfer? Which one is it? Let me know in the comments. Cheers.